When I was in college, the most stressful question during a job search was, do you need future sponsorship? A while back, I came to the US as an international student. I had a F1 visa. I could only work at on-campus jobs or get an approval to intern off-campus. After graduating, about half of my international friends went back to their home country, mainly because they could not secure a job. For me, I got an offer to work as a mechanical engineer. I was still on F1 visa, but because I had a STEM degree, I could work for up to 36 months. After 1 year, my company sponsored me for H1B, which cost them about $6,000 on application and legal fees. H1B is based on lottery and it is only picked once a year, and I luckily got it the first try. With an H1B, my next 3 years were secure and I could extend it for another 3 years, but the H1B visa is tied to that one company. After a year of H1B, I talked with the HR director to sponsor me for a green card, EB3. It cost the company about $15,000 of legal and application fee. Fast forward 2.5 years of waiting for my green card and going through COVID, I finally got my green card.
Yeah,
Wow,
that's
wow,
it's
that's interesting. That is a very, very detailed, interesting information. I mean, I just love the way the guy put the story together. But Wally, what
yeah.
what what hit you from that story? What?
The first thing that caught my attention is the cost of the applications. Like, well, personally, I've never paid that amount, for all my most of my visa application process. Maybe as far as the US anyway, we did it ourselves, so we never needed a lawyer, so it was more or less affordable for us. I can only imagine as an employer paying 6K 1 year, then another year I'm paying 15K again, to be able to hire someone, help them to continue to work at my company. So it's that's crazy expensive. Personally, I'm very sure that he could never have come up with that funds on his own. So
No, but it's not about the funds because you need a sponsor, right? Even if he
yeah,
had the funds, he still needs a sponsor because the thing with the green card is the H1B visa, like you said, and it's a fact, is tied to the company, right?
yeah.
It can be renewed after 3 years. It's a lottery system. I know we shared in one of our videos. The thing is, you renew it after 3 years, but that does not give a lot of comfort because you know that if you lose that job, like you said, it's tied to the company. If he loses the job,
Exactly.
he has to go back to his country, and
Exactly.
maybe that is not in his plan. I appreciate the fact that he had to, go talk to the HR director, but that also means something because for a company to agree to sponsor a green card, it means two things. He's no longer tied to the company, right?
Yeah.
So so my question is, Wale, I would like to ask is, how would you, if you were in this position, respond to that when you get the green card, right? How we respond because you're no longer tied to the company. So
Yeah.
two things. The first thing I'll ask is, how will you respond to it?
I'm not a business owner. No, well, I've not been a long-time business owner, but I've owned some businesses in the past, and I can definitely say that the things like these. I'll give you a good example of the people that I'm familiar with. Like when I moved to Germany, one of the things that made the company to be able to hire a lot of people from outside Germany is that they are willing to stand as sponsors to wherever it is that they are hiring. But per their policy, they don't provide financial support. So for me, I didn't need them to provide financial support. I just needed them to provide all the documents I'm going to need to apply for my documents. So when I got into the company, I got a little bit familiar with the company culture, and basically that's what for them. It's not really about whether you are staying or not. It's about, can you work for us or work with us? Then we are going to hire you. They are not thinking about whether you will stay or not. They are able to really hire very good people to work with the company. And I can tell you, the company is growing in leaps and bounds. Even though some people do leave, like the company is growing as far as their product is concerned. The marketing team is growing. The engineering team is growing. There are still people leaving. For example, I also left the company, but they are still growing. I still have some friends in the company. I still keep track of how much they do
They
grow.
do.
They're one of the biggest e-commerce companies in the world right now. So,
Oh, okay.
so from that perspective, I say based on the company culture, they have a healthy way of looking at hiring someone who is an immigrant, and then the company culture will speak for itself. Will speak whether you stay or
Yeah,
not.
but not. But I
Um,
think you have a valid point, Wally, because
yeah,
in just taking some point from what you're sharing, I'm just thinking because there's a flip side to this. if the company doesn't sponsor him or doesn't sponsor for a green card, the person can still leave anyways because
Exactly.
there's no guarantee that not sponsoring the green card will keep the person. There's no guarantee that it's tied to that one company. The person can change their mind and you know what? They say, I don't want to live like this. I don't want the uncertainty. I don't want to have to renew it after every after 3
Exactly.
years.
So the same
know-
way the company it got H1B visa through the company, it can get it through another company. So it doesn't
Absolutely.
have to be
Yeah,
them.
so-
The only
so
difference,
it's-
I think, the major difference is just that now it doesn't have to keep applying for H1B visas any longer, and is a lot more flexible. For companies that understand, you can take off a lot of stress
Yep,
from their
it does,
employees,
it does.
and that is just overall it's beneficial for the company
Okay.
in the long run. About another point also, which is it's gonna be difficult. I think something that I said, like spoke with HR after a
HR
year and all
director
that. I think that
yeah.
it's gonna be difficult for a company to sponsor you for a visa if you are not actually productive, or if you are not friendly, or
course.
if you are not really
You
a
build a
part of the
relationship.
team. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think that a lot of people should take away from this, especially if you're a student. There's no way if you're getting into a company, you really have to buy into the culture of that company for them to certify we want to sponsor you.
And that's so true because you need to be able to make contribution. You need to be an invaluable member of the team, and the fact that he had access to the HR director speaks a lot as well. Speaks a lot about his person, about his ambition, and speaks about his contribution to the team. Because for a company to go ahead to to want to sponsor you, they did his HB1 visa and they did sponsor his green card. That should show that he was a valuable member of the team, and obviously he's got his his act together. And he doesn't guarantee anything. Just that's a fact. Even though he shared the story, is an amazing story. There are people who have also worked that journey and still didn't get it. And so, but the one part that will always just take me, in a way that I just don't feel right is the uncertainty of the lottery system for the HB1 visa. I don't like that. While I think about it, I don't like it.
Never feel comfortable with that.
Like I don't know what it feels. I don't want to feel that way. That uncertainty, lottery. Come on, man. I don't want to feel like that. But it is what it is. I mean, it's amazing to see that. It's like you shared. Half of his international students went back home, and I'm sure a lot of them that was not in their plan, but they couldn't find a job, they couldn't find the sponsorship, and you would never really have enough. There's always going to be that inequality of available jobs versus international students, and jobs that are available to sponsor, because there are jobs that you can do, but there are not a lot of jobs that are available to match the number of international students here in the US for sponsorship. So that's actually a fact, but I don't have that data right now. I would like to get that data and share some days. So.
Yeah, but let us know, guys, what do you think has your experience been? If you're a student, leave your comment. Let's know what your experience has been. If you have gone past that stage, leave a comment. Let's know what your experience has been. And if you're interested in knowing more about this kind of process, leave a comment down below. That's it from me today. Do you have any other thing that you want to add?
Nothing else, man. It's just a perfect one. Thank you, Ali. Thank you.
All right.
Have a good one, everyone.
We'll see you next time. Thanks.
All right, then. Cheers.